A common question we get here at Advanced Health is what causes low back pain? Why am I having low back pain? And for us, there's three big causes. First one being lifting injuries. Second one being lots of repetitive stress, obviously doing the same thing over and over throughout the day. And lastly, it's sitting. Sitting is the new smoking. The average American sits for 9+ hours a day. We're built on a mechanical and a physiological level to move, so sitting for our bodies is foreign. Now, how does sitting affect the body? It affects us in three ways. First thing you can do is it can change the shape, structure within our spine, particularly our low back. Second thing it can do is it increases stress and tension on the soft tissue, which over time breaks down, leads to poor range of motion, weakness, instability. And then lastly, it increases the interdiscal pressure within our spine. And that's what I want to speak to you about today. So let's go through how sitting can affect the spine. So when you evaluate the spine, you should see a nice even curve that measures around 40 degrees. We have a curve in our spine to carry the weight of our body. Well, sitting, everything's in front of us, that's centripetal force. So what happens is, over time, the spine changes shape. Well, when the spine changes shape and we lose this curve, the weight of our body shifts forwards. When the weight of our body shifts forward, it puts our discs under a massive amount of stress and tension. And over time, those discs start to break down. You can see this bulge here. So let's just go through the disc health and why it's so important. And it is important because without it, we can never get back that disc health. Once it's gone, it's gone. So when you evaluate a disc within the spine, it's essentially like a jelly donut. And essentially what we should see is lots of fluid in the nucleus here. And that's kind of the jelly in a donut. And on the outside here is like the bread. It's that fibrous, collagenous tissue. And that keeps the fluid in. When we have good posture and we have good range of motion within the joint, that disc moves. When we move, it creates stimulation within the disc. It's filled full of nutrients. The nerve sends a message to the brain and back down, and that's how we function. However, when our spine shifts out of alignment, like we just looked at here, the weight of our body shifts forward, and you start to stress the front of the disc. Well, over time, the stress and tension from all the weight starts to lead to a decrease in the disc height. And a decrease in the disc height creates less room for the nerve to come out of the nerve canal. So that's when movements we've done before, like shifting forwards, tying our shoelaces, picking something up from the ground, is when our low back goes out. It's essentially because we've got less wiggle room for that joint to move. It's important to address a disc, the spine, in its infancy, because if we allow the problem to persist, which unfortunately many of us do, right? Procrastination is the thief of health. We start running into issues within the integrity and the health of the disc. Specifically, the fluid within the disc starts to seep through these cracks that have come through poor range of motion, poor load into the spine. And over time, that leads to what we call these disc pathologies, herniations, for example. And that's when we start putting stress and tension onto the nerve root. So research states that if you're sitting in a corporate posture, i.e. in one of these postures, you can actually increase the pressure and the load on your spine by up to 275 pounds. Again, our spine isn't designed to carry weight like that. So if you sit for a living, we have to get into some good ergonomic posture. We need to check, make sure our workstation's set up correctly. Have you got a stand-up desk? Are you standing up? Are you sitting on a wobble disc? Are you doing your postural correction exercises throughout the day? Are you creating those good habits? If you don't, we're going to create a new video that's going to go exactly how you should sit and some things you should be doing at the during work in terms of your therapeutic exercises. Now, if you're sitting here with low back pain, or you have a family member, co-worker, friend that has low back pain, you think this video could help them in terms of the mechanisms of sitting and understanding why it's causing the low back pain, I encourage you to share this video, tag it, share it, and we'll see you next time.